Could you log into your YouTube account and analyze the predominant niche from which most recommendations are being made on your homepage? Assess whether these recommendations are related to self-improvement or if they involve content like travel vlogs that might trigger dopamine rushes. If you've read this far, thank you for your attention, and stay tuned as we delve into the science behind time wasting. There's something peculiar about how human society has been set up and its sort of antithesis to our programming. But let's look at the animal kingdom or nature for a little bit. If you look closely and examine closely, you'll see that nature is constantly producing things. Beavers are building dams, ants are molding anthills, owls are hunting prey. Whether it be creating, feasting, or procreating, animals are always either doing something or preparing to do something. This is instinctual. Every animal is primed with their survival and the survival of their species in mind. They are always using time effectively. Their objective is to just be and exist, and they do that very well. Let's look at humans now. Humans are unique amongst animals because humans have created a civilization based on the utilization of conscious thought. Everything good you can think of from human civilization comes from the frontal cortex. Buildings, cars, the chair you're sitting on, the computer you're typing on, it all comes from the conscious mind. Most of the gain you'll get in life is determined by how well you can utilize and squeeze your conscious mind to create productive results. Now, there's an issue here. These things are not inherently natural to us. They're not instinctual. Because they're not instinctual, they feel effortful, they use up energy resources. They create existential strain, anxiety. They create pain, and because most people will do anything to avoid pain, we will gladly jump into all manners of escapism. Most of the modern world is built around circumventing this angst that comes from consciously utilizing ourselves. At work, we may make it look like we're working, but we're just surfing social media. On the weekends, when it comes time to be productive, we can waste time. We can blot out our souls calling to express Netflix. Social media. Pills and potions of all kinds, anything to justify and rationalize lack of inaction. That pull that you must bring something into the world is torturous. What do you create? Do you write? Do you draw? Do you sculpt? Do you make a business? Then after that, you have to ask, how do I build up the skills to do these things? How do I express myself? This starts a series of endless questions that are again, effortful and laborious. Consuming is much better. Being lazy is much better. There's many ways to combat this, one of which I call the straight line philosophy. Simply put, the fastest route between 2 points is a straight line. You're pushing as hard towards objective ends as possible to achieve more in less time. Consider your favorite influencer in YouTube who was a good million followers, filter to the oldest video, probably 5 years ago, right? Now let's go 5 years ahead in the future. What you do today will determine where you would be 5 years ahead. People who value time and spend it wisely have everything in life: success, money, happiness, satisfaction, etc., while the one who wastes time just spend their entire life wondering how time went by and how they didn't achieve anything substantial. We all know that life is precious, however we forget that time is life, and wasting time is ultimately wasting life. Your habit have a direct impact on the way you waste your time. Man is largely a creature of habit, and many of his activities are more or less automatic reflexes from the stimuli of his environment. Therefore, if you're wasting your time, energy, and money on things that aren't important to you, it's probably because you've developed and reinforced this habit pattern through years of repetition. To stop wasting time has very much to do with how you design your Tao-like. No, I am not talking about becoming a productivity guru, but including simple habits like making your bed, going for a walk, if you take your phone then making sure to be seated straight in a chair rather than lying on a couch. These simple gestures will give your mind a signal that you are really thriving. Do something useful throughout the day. The hindrance of your mind and body to resist from doing the necessary task will be considerably decreased.